So it looks like I've got nothing, right? But I kind of want to show you something. I'm about to review the ride Trident. Just gonna get down here. It's all the way. It's all the way on. It's all the way on.
Get down.
Just gonna pop all 3 boas.
3 boas?
Snap the Velcro, and the boot's off. It's pretty amazing. It's a very quick on and off boot. It's a very stiff, very responsive boot. And you know, it's been a while since I rode this, and I was so stoked that Ride got this out to me to borrow for like, you know, a few weeks and get to know it. And even after day 1, you know, usually I put a boot away halfway through the first day and go back to my old boot due to pressure points and stuff like that. This Trident, while it wasn't free of pressure points, they were bearable. And on my first day I rode it all day. And it's a very stiff, very responsive boot. You can see it's just got this like plastic here. And Jimbo's gonna come in here and help me with this review.
Sit here.
You know, it's got
safety in numbers.
Michelin rubber. It's got some EVA foam. I would say shock absorption wise, it's limited, and it's made more for response. I felt like there was almost nothing here. I felt like the pads, you know those pads that go across the front of your foot? What the hell are those called?
I don't know.
Before your toes start?
The balls of the feet.
Yeah, the balls, they're kind of like right here. If these were my toes, these felt like there was nothing underneath them, which for some might be bad, but for others might be good because it means you're closer to the board, you have an enhanced board response feel, and there was some shock absorption in the heel, but not much. It felt very hard walking. It felt like limited shock absorption. There's definitely some dampening there, and there's definitely something to help you with the ride. But you want to pair it up with a
nice
binding
Merlot
that has Merlot. Not all sideways. Not drinking Merlot. Yeah. But you know, maybe a Pinot. You know. Or Jimbo's, or a Peter. You might want to pair him up with a Peter.
Pair it up with your Peter.
Yeah, we're constantly referencing Peter today. We're in Peter withdrawals. The kid just shows up for like a couple weeks.
He's in my mind forever.
Knockdown, drag out, kick-ass job, and then fucking leaves us for a year. We don't see him again, except for the occasional text. Read this book. Watch this movie. Oh my God, I just did this. You know, his life's incredible. We have a good life. His life is just crazy. I don't know where he is, what he's doing right now.
Spearfishing or something.
Probably something fun. But overall, you know, this boot, I was a little skeptical of the triple boa, but let me show you something cool here.
It's like lightning rods. It's more better.
Yeah. So this is what I like. Look at this. See how it's, I don't know if you can see here. It's in and out of focus. The tightening stops here. See how this is still loose? So you've got completely separate upper and lower. Yet you have another boa on the inside to kind of really coil around here and tighten.
Oh, nice.
Your, you know, really grip around your ankle and really help you eliminate heel hold or heel lift.
They should call this the
It doesn't eliminate heel hold. It creates heel hold and lift. Another thing I like is there's just this side Velcro. You're just in these bindings and out, I mean, in these boots and out of these boots faster than any
other boot,
you know,
out there, huh?
speed lace or double boa with a, you know, a pull thing. It's just so quick and efficient. I don't like if you have a wing tie back or a curved tie back on your bindings, it might be a little difficult with 3 boas.
Yeah.
You know, and there's
it's like
3
Frankenstein
chances.
with those bolts there.
And boa is not perfect by any means. There's the potential of 3 chances of failure. You know, but this is a good coil. This is good routing, and I think if you just get like something we reviewed just a little while ago that we just thought was rad, Tell me what I'm thinking.
The straps. The
Strap-ins.
Strap-ins.
He's thinking what I'm thinking. I like where your head's at.
I want to get one of those.
And those strap-ins, if you had like a pair of strap-ins and one of these boas broke, you could get through your day. Let's say you don't want to ruin your day. You could get through your day with this. And I like this narrow feel. This size 9 felt true to size. It felt a little tight, and I think it would break in a little bit. I was a little disappointed in the footprint, and you can see pictures below. But in the past, the size 9 ride boot fit exactly like a size 9 Burton boot did on the outside, or footprint when it comes to reduced toe and heel drag. All the ride boots I had were a little bigger. But man, the construction, the ankle articulation here, let me pop these again. The ankle articulation here helps increase longevity. You've got a little reinforcement, kind of a hard plastic here with ribs and ridges going to soft here, and I felt it was very responsive. It's kind of up there. I wouldn't say it's like up there with, like, say, a Driver X or something like that, but I would say it's kind of medium fast to fast. It's a pretty fast boot, and it's very fast edge to edge.
Fast boot.
Yeah, and the toe, the construction, I mean, just everything about this boot says we understand that you're going to pay a shit ton of money for this, and we don't want you to feel like you've been skunked when you buy this. Where there are some super expensive boots that I've tried where I felt like, really, why am I paying this price? What am I missing here? You don't feel that with the Trident, and although I feel like, it's lacking in shock absorption, some might feel it's lacking in shock absorption. Others might prefer that for the added response and feel underfoot, the fuff.
Oh, the fuff?
Yeah, the fuff and fuff. And and the triple boa, I feel, could cause some problems in terms of failure, more points of failure than your average boot. But you've got a lot of adjustability. You've got the same adjustability as Speed Lace, and you've got a quicker way to kind of crank down and tighten up the inside. A quicker and better way, I think. Yeah. So it's a mixed bag, but all in all, if you want a very responsive, very long-lasting boot, I'd say go with this. I only felt just some minor pressure points. I always feel like on the forward flex, let me tighten this up to kind of show you. And it might just need some tweaking on my end, but on the forward flex, I felt like there was some pressure, and you can see this kind of, like when I press down here, I don't know if you can see this, but this part sinks, and I felt like it hit the roof of my foot a little bit, so I had to ride them a little looser than maybe you would, but I still got lots of response, and because there wasn't an overlap between top and bottom on this boa and this boa, I could go tight on top and keep it looser on the bottom so that flex didn't bother me, that downward pressure didn't bother me. So for me, I don't know personally if this would fit my foot well enough for me to ride over time. I'm not sure who would win here. Because this looks pretty burly, and it looks like this is going to retain its flex well. This looks like a very long-lasting boot. So I'm not sure if that pressure over time would win. I have a feeling it would. In the past ride boots that I've had that are more responsive, some of them have that forward flex problem, and it flexes down and causes pressure on the roof of my foot. I actually had a ride fuse that I rode for like 2 years before I really got good riding and really got my gear whoring on. It was before that awakening moment where I tried a Burton Custom, and it just changed my life because I couldn't believe how different boards were. And then I started trying boots and bindings and everything, and it got a little weird.
Different.
And here we are now talking.
Today.
Yeah, but I rode those ride fuse for like 2 years, and they were kind of like a medium stiff, and that downward pressure there on the fuse actually created some bumps on the roof of my foot that are still here today. And so now that's somewhat reminiscent. But that was like, what, 15 years ago? You know, that was a long, long time ago. In a body far away from this broken
couple more
thing
bumps
that I
and
have
bruises
now.
and cuts and nicks and scrapes.
Yeah, and so for this to not be as bad as it was in the past is good, but it still needs some work. But all in all, I'd say those are my only little issues, but I think it's a very recommendable boot. It's a very responsive boot for those of you guys who are looking more for that aggressive mountain to free ride kind of ride. I think this fuse is gonna, this fuse will be lit, and you will get and then there'll be an explosion, and then out comes the Trident. I don't know. But let me just say, this Trident is a very well built, very well made boot. And if you're up for quick adjustability and good response, longevity of response, and you've got a hard on for BOA like so many people do.
That's why I wanted to be here for this review. I wanted to learn about this boot.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go watch it now on TV.
Yeah. Now you know, and if you've got a BOA, on, if you've got a
BOA,
you've got a hard on for BOA. I couldn't figure out the right word. A boner. A boner.
A boner.
Yeah,
he did it. He got it.
A boner. If you got
out.
a boner, a triple boner, then you know, this might be the one for you. My foot's cold now. I'm gonna put this back on.